Our topic today is electric motorcycle and business. So not to waste our time, we would like to give this stage to both of our speakers.
Good afternoon, all the participants. Thank you for your participation for today. Today, I would like to give you all and sharing all the information on business and electric motorcycle research and development. I am Wasan. I am a Research and Development Engineering Director for Gpx Motor Company. And the other person, I'm Mr. Satianpong Somjit. I'm the R&D Electrical Engineering Manager at GP Motor Thailand. The session will last about an hour and 10 minutes. I will give you about 20 minutes for question and answer. First of all, I would like to tell you about Gpx Branding. We are the motorcycle company owned by Thai people and in Thailand. Well, as you know, there's a lot of Japanese brand out there like Toyota, Suzuki, etc., etc. But not that many people know about Gpx brand. So let me tell you about our brand. Well, our company founded in February 2007 by Kun Chayot. The company founded when he graduated. Then firstly, we bring the AGV car imported into Thailand. After that, we sell the AGV car and then we bring in the new motocross and develop motocross and launch to the market. As you can see, there's a lot of motocross sessions. Then in 2010-2011, we expanded the factory to many more factories. Then in 2012-2015, we expanded our factory to about 11,000 square meters with the development of motorcycle for industry certificate. We have our second factory open in 2018. Here are the picture of our new factory. There's a capacity of 150,000 units per year. At the moment, there are different department sections, including frame line, color line, assembly line, and engine line. Gpx, we sell the products in country in Thailand and also exported to other countries. From the factory that we moved to our spare part system, we moved to Pracha Utit 90 area. Here are the timeline of our company. However, at the moment, at present, Gpx brand in 2019 we make research and development. Gpx first developed that's a cycle for the Gpx research and development. As you can see, we started from using the survey. We've tried to make a survey and try to find out customers' needs and want. So we conduct the market research to find out what customer wants at the moment and what the future. So we use user survey as a way to make market research. After that, next we move to the product design. Within the product design, that's divided into many criteria. We have design section, like for example, stylish design. We try to create the modern design for the motorcycle by the designer. Then we moved on to the engineering design. Then with this section, we create a model which is one by one. Then we moved on from the product design, we move on to prototype. So we keep all the data and the information and change to TD data. That's including the frame body or ambulance part or electronic parts, also standard parts, engine, etc., etc. After we design, we finish with the design. Then after we evaluate all the data, then we move to performance testing and evaluation. In this performance testing and evaluation process, as you can see the picture in the slide here, at this stage, there will be a repetition because to make sure that the result is come out effectively. After that, we moved on to mass production. Then we'll launch the market. After we launch the market, then it will move on to this cycle. We'll start over again from market research, product design, prototype, performance testing and evaluation, and mass product. Here are the cycle, the process of how we work within the Gpx company. This model is very similar to Japan as well. We use the same type of process. Here are the example of the model that we like to introduce to you. As you can see, that you will know what the Gpx brand is all about. Here are the example of the series of the motorcycle that we have. We have different design. Here are the example of the model that we have launched already. Well, if you'd like to see more information on our model and our products, you can go onto our website and have a look at https://gpxthailand.com. Okay, now we moved on to the next stage where we will talk about business and research development. Now the question is why we have to use electric motorcycle or electric motorbike? Why? This is the question. Rather than use the electrical car. Okay, first we will divide into pro and con. Of course, at present, the first point is we're looking to environment-friendly product.
So there's the research conduction to decrease the pollution, and also involved with the other law. Like in Europe, they have the new law for pollution that it's even increased. And there's the pollution standard. It's at the Euro 5, and our country used the Euro 4. There would be the technology to improve, to get rid of the pollution, and there would be the higher cost. For this reason, we need to find other options so that our vehicles would be friendly to our environment. And also we need to care for the performance as well. Also save our money. We can also charge it at home. If we compare with the engine, in our engine there are a lot of components. 100% the power is only 30%. On the other hand, if it's electric motor, to use the battery to propel, at least 90%. We need 90% performance so that we will not lose the battery. They have the advantage of this and disadvantages, like price. In EV vehicles, the cost is from the battery. The cost with the body is so low. The distance of full charge battery would cost little comparing with the gas. For example, the battery for the EV can run for 100 kilometers. The charging station is not covered yet. and the time of charging also would be the implication as well. Of course, it's a new technology. Gpx team pay attention to they have to study about EV. Even they are the expert of the ICE. So we'd like to show you how is electric motorcycle nowadays going. Some of you probably have seen this model. It's new, it's the China's brand. If you live around Bangchak, you must see this model before. This model is for renting to delivery. The main topic and the main component, there are three. First, battery. Second is the motor controller or FOC, or field oriented controller, and the motor. That's the main component that would propel the vehicles, electric vehicles. The battery pack is below the green color. Inside it has the cell battery, and it's placed in order. As you see the picture on your left hand, there would be the battery under the seat. That's the model. So we call it the next model, the name of the brand is Gogoro. It's the Taiwan's brand.
Taiwanese.
The founder, experience or expertise on the communication system, and they use the mobile to develop EV. On application and software design. The station and application cover with the renting, through the application you can check the slot battery. If your battery is running out, the Gogoro designed the central motor drive. The peak motor is 6 kilowatt. The center is about 120 kilometer. and they have micro cooling as well. Its technology is high performance. I took the test drive and I see it high performance. The top speed is about 97 per hour, kilometer per hour. This also has the cell model. This is Honda PCX-AV. They partner with OR Acid in so they use the swap station. So they have the sensor drive motor, the side motor drive has been used and is on the side of the wheel. The side motor drive has limitation on the power. If you want high performance, the motor would be bigger, and if the motor would be on the side, the balance and when you ride it could lost, and you can use the swap technology with 2 batteries. The motor controller is in the middle of the body. On this model, you can push the wire to charge at home as well. This is a kind of EV in the market. Another model has the interesting feature from India. Ultraviolet model F77. The feature looks like the nugget style motorcycle. Looks this propelled by chain. Look at the feature. You would see you can place the 3 batteries. You would see the flat batteries. You would see other brand would have the square battery, but this one is flat and small. So you need to think about what kind of cell to make this flat battery. To produce the best performance. You can check it out at our website. So we want to give you an informative information. This is from UK. For sure, BMW is the high end of development. You see the feature of battery and controller, and the electricity system is integrated technology. But the disadvantage, you cannot place that battery under the seat. Basically, you can see, you can even place your stuff like the helmet or battery, but this you can't. So we just want to show you that their feature is different from other models, from other brands. Their motor is unit swing drive. Their motor combined with the swing arm to hold the back wheel. This is Primula with the scooter engine. Another model that launched in the beginning of the year, Bmw Ce04. This one is futuristic design and is pretty modern. The shape and the feature is pretty modern. The motor plays the central motor drive. The below, on the right hand, you see the blue color. You see the battery. This one is piece metric type. So the previous model, you cannot place anything, but this model you can place your helmet, the whole helmet. You can open the side of the body. You can place your helmet there. Personally, the motorcycle designer made it pretty cool, but let's check out the price. It's about 460,000 baht for this model. From now on, I would like to show you to see the motorcycle from different country. And I would like to show you about the main components. From the engine to EV, what are the main components for two wheels? Let's take a look at the comparing features.
Okay, here are the comparison between the ICE and the electronic vehicle components comparison. Well, if you can see on the left-hand side, the ICE type, it will be included air cleaner, fuel tank, meter dashboard. Is the meter that shows all the sequences. Muffle, engine, ECU, and FI system. However, if you look into the electronic vehicle with the EV, what it consists of, we have the DC to DC converter, meter dashboard, APP or application. We have motor control unit, which is called MCU. We have battery pack or battery unit. We have motor and transmission and also vehicle control unit, which is VCU, which we'll talk about this in more details in later on. The DC converter is the what we convert the convertage for electronic vehicle, meter dashboard and application. Here are the components for the electronic vehicle. Here are the comparison between the ICV and the EV cars. Okay, now we moved on to talk about electronic vehicle. We will talk about each parts or each components. For the idea for you guys to see the example for development. Okay, so we start with the battery first. Well, the previous slides, we know what's the overall of the electronic vehicle motorcycle. What are the main components for the motorcycle, for the electrical motorcycle? So now we will look into more details on the battery. At the moment, the battery in the market, what we have is different type, different shape of battery. We divide it into 3 types of battery, as you can see on the slide here. The first type is cylindrical cell. It's like a small battery. There's many sizes, like 18650. So the battery cell divided into 3 types. We divide it into different size and shapes. The first one is cylindrical cell. The cylindrical cell, the shape is very similar to small battery that we use in a regular day-to-day life. It's a lithium battery. The second type is pouch cell. What pouch cell is very similar to a normal battery, or the shape is very similar to a coffee bag. It's very similar to cylindrical cell. The application are very different. Cylindrical cells are very easy to use. It's very easy to adapt and connect to different series and level to get the power that we need. However, pouch cell are bigger size than the cylindrical cell, so it's more suitable for application that used for a bigger event, for example for trucks or for trolley or a big storage station. And the last type is prismatic cell. Prismatic cell are the developer between cylindrical cell or pouch cell. Usually prismatic cell are in most passengers car. For example, a car. Prismatic cell, the price are various. Depends on the power and depends on the brand and depends on the distributor. Here are the list of battery chemistries. So we look into the ingredients of each battery type. Well, the most important ingredient is the lithium battery. Okay, the different type of battery, what we normally use is we have lithium cobalt oxide, LCO. We have lithium iron phosphate, which is LEP. We also have lithium magnesium oxide. We have lithium nickel cobalt aluminum oxide, lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide, and lithium titanate. Well, the lithium iron phosphate or LEP, as you can see the application, normally we will use a portable and stationary needed high load currents and endurance, for example trucks or energy storage station. I'd like you all to define and choose the right type that's suitable for the product. Well, I'd like to add on at present, what we use at the moment mainly uses LFP, NCA, and NCA. Those three types are the mainly used worldwide. Well, with the NCA and NMC has lower safety. However, with the LFP, the lifespan are longer than the rest. The concept is very similar to the mobile phone battery. The battery lifetime, it depends on the type of battery. Some battery can last for 1 year, but some type of battery lasts longer. With the LTO battery, lithium titanate, we use this type of battery in Mitsubishi Honda Fit EV. Use this lithium titanate battery, which mostly used with a hybrid car because it's fast charge, safe, and high performance. Well, there's many more battery chemistry. There's many more. However, we just pick out 6 main that we use at present. Okay, now we moved on to motor. Now that, of course, the motor is the main important part within the EV, electronic vehicle car. Well, the first part is the IM, which is induction motor. As you can see in the picture, the first one IM, you don't see any blue point around. With the induction motor, they will no longer have the magnet at all. Next, IPMSM, which is internal permanent magnet synchronous motor. As you can see, the blue sign, the blue area is the magnet. The third part is line start IPMSM, which is internal permanent magnet synchronous motor with rotor cage. It's the development from IPMSM. At the moment, this line start IPMSM. Well, at the moment, with the SMPMSM, this is the mostly and worldwide use, which is the surface permanent magnet synchronous motor. This is the most popular that we use at the moment. But with the SMPMSM, it's very expensive, really. It's the highest price between those 3. So there's another one, which is Sync RM. It's a synchronous reluctant motor. As you can see with this type, there's no longer use magnet. Of course, with the Sync RM, the performance is lower than the other type. Here are the list of the types, so all the participants can use between which type to suitable for which product. You can choose. Well, in Thailand, we use IPM-SM internal permanent magnet synchronous motor, or SMPM-SM. We use Let's look at some example and the pictures of the type. Well, as you can see in the photo, here are the motor that we use with the Honda Accord car. And may I just say, all the pictures here are the photo that that we used within the car rather than the motorcycle. As you can see in the D photo, on the right hand side is the steel containment ring and the aluminum casting. This is a second type from the Nissan Leaf car. As you can see, we can see the stator, the winding, rotor, and housing. The next part is the Chevrolet Volt. This is more of advanced. We use 50 kilowatt ferrite and 100 kilowatt net-free IPM motors with the hairpin windings. There's a comparison between motor A and motor B. You will see that we use polite magnet and neodymium. So the power are different. You can see the difference between motor A 50 kilowatt and motor B 100 kilowatt. Of course, the performance will be different as well. Here are the other example of the Bmw I3. With this type, with this model, we use IPB motor. And we use neodymium and lithium ion battery.
So to take a look in the middle of the pipe, that is the how we use the water to release the heat. So that would be the implication and the downside as well. Because of the heat, we need to have the great management. So we would like to suggest our team or the contestants to think about this as well. So if we have to make high performance of motor, we need to care for cooling system as well. So we already learned about battery and motor in our market nowadays. Now let's take a look at the trends to develop the powertrain system. So briefly, as we said it earlier, we did the market research and the product design. After we get the information from survey user, what do we do next? Briefly, after we got the demand from the user survey, we analyze the information, the type according to the demands. We get the information to design the motor and battery. And we receive the powertrain system, with the motor and the battery that satisfy the market. The first part, we are talking about the motor specification design. After we have the requirement, what spec do we need? So on the slide first, so we have the modeling. So after we get so we have the drivetrain system stimulation. We are talking about the average speed, top speed, and acceleration. And also to satisfy the need of the market. After we get the target, we are coming to the motor design. So we have to come to to have the performance we need to talk about the So after we design the motor design, we are coming to the drivetrain design. We're in the drivetrain design process. The last one is the motor prototype. So that we can satisfy the demand of the market. After we have the motor, we will talk about the battery pack, the same way as we did the battery. What is the specification of our battery pack? What is the performance? Look at from the chart. We use the order as the modeling to calculate and stimulate the battery power, to check the rate charge and what would be the charge rate. We would have this. We will have the battery spec from our information. After we get the motor spec, we are talking about the battery pack design. There are different battery cells. There are different types of battery cell. We need to choose which one is suitable for our vehicle. What kind of battery that is suitable with our application. Whether price, safety, and energy, and type cycle. We have to design the battery pack. This process we would design. If we want the battery pack, that how many volts we would use. In our market, there are different types, whether 72, 80 or 100 volt. For the motorcycles, nowadays, it's 2 to 3 types, 48, 60, and 72 volts. There are also 96 volts as well. So we'll design the battery pack. So what are the voltage of the battery pack? What are the rate power, peak power? After we design the battery pack, you would go to the significant process. So we have to test the performance, the safety, to charge and to discharge the battery. This would make an impact to our vehicles. So we would have the prototype sample as we design according to the demand of our users. After we got the motor controller, we would develop as the same unit. We have the power motor and the battery from our prototype process. This part is very important. So we need to test as our expectation. Is it according to our rule, our law in our country? In the first process, we have user survey. We need to set our target. What our drivetrain standard? What's the target? Let's say 100 kilo per one charge, or what is the average speed? Must be 90 or 150 kilometers per hour. So after So testing procedure is very important because sometimes we don't design it ourselves. So two-wheels electric vehicle must pass the testing. What are the testing? Look at the blue. ISO 1464 is the vehicle performance, our transportation organization. So if you talk about E-range or energy consumption, so after we have the testing range, we have to check our motor battery. So let's say we want 120 kilometers, but we only got 90 kilometers. So what do we need to improve? So this one is in the prototype testing, or it's in the testing procedure. So we also need to think about business design so that we could make big sales. We need to think about the law. We need to design as the standard that they already set. So also like braking system, safety system. That's another detail that we might not be able to mention here.
Okay, moved on to the next topic. It will be about VCU features block diagram. We'll look into vehicle control unit, which is called VCU. So there are different parts and different components. The VCU is the main controller for the vehicle. Here are the minimum requirements or the base for all the electric vehicles should have. It should consist of lighting system, handle SW system, speaker system, charger system. The speaker system are very important because it helps with the sound system. Also with the noise, the sound from the battery. Then charger. Well, the charger is very important as well because it's the connection between the charger and the VCU. The next one is very important. Is the connectivity between the car and the user. The connectivity could be Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, for example, are the features. That's very important, is the key important for the electronic vehicle. You can add on many other components that you find out that it could be useful. For example, could be microphone, for example, or lighting control. Maybe we can look into voice control system as well. That would make easier for the driver. Okay, here are the topics of the research and development for the electronic motorcycle. Of course, there's 6 keys area that we have to consider to make sure that we meet the customer wants and needs. The main key points. Here are the key points. First, design. Of course, most customers would like to have a great design of the vehicle. Well, most obviously customers want to have a great design, very fashionable. The second point is the performance. Of course, most customers would like to have a great performance of the car or the high performance of the car. For example, customer like fast car. Third point is price. Well, if you look at the design, the left side or the right hand side. It's your choice to choose which design would you like to create. Secondly, performance. Would you rather design the performance from the left or the right hand side? It's your own idea to think. It's your own creation. Third point, price. Look at the price. Of course, the left-hand side is 75,000 baht, or we're looking at 460,000 baht. This is all up to customers. We have to see what customer needs and wants, so we have to make research and considering of the price as well. Of course, with the overall, we look into function and feature. With the VCU, of course, if we have more function, more design, this is the key point that we can sell to customers. Of course, there's something for customers to attract the customers. Of course, they will be considered the price as well. Of course, with the Japanese-made motorcycle are the top brand because of the high quality and high performance. And most users pick Japanese brand. Of course, last but not least, the 6th point is branding. With the electrical vehicle and electrical motorcycle. Why this is the interesting topic? What is brand? Well, it is important branding because we have the Japanese type, Japanese branding, and American branding. Have you heard of the Santes brand? Santes brand is the Chinese brand. Well, when we talk about the quality of the parts of this motorcycle brand, well, I must say the quality of the branding is very good, quite surprisingly when you compare to the Japanese brand. But of course, the name of the brand might not be quite catchy or very popular. But if you try to search on Google, Montes M3100 scooter. Just something for you to consider. It's just some idea for you to think about. Okay, that's the end for the presentation. I'll give you maybe 5 or 10 minutes for the questions and answer. Thank you คุณเสถียรพล and คุณวสันทัศน์ Now I would like to give you an opportunity for the participants to ask all the questions that you might have. Is there any question? That's 005 that raised the question. I would like to ask about battery chemistry. I'm not quite sure about the LCO. What's the application that used? In comparison to the MMC application. Why we have to use LCO application? Because of the price are very similar. Well, at the moment we have LFP application that used widely at the moment. So sometimes the information could be quite old or not up to date information.
Let me answer. Actually, it depends on the target of our stakeholders. What are the target of our stakeholders? If they want low speed, if they don't want the top speed, top wheel would be more suitable. If they want high performance, the central motor would be more suitable because it's concerning about the space with high performance. And we also use the drivetrain system in the motor, and the power would be higher. Depends on our stakeholders that we have presented our products. What about the price target? If we have to design and we have to think about the price, selling price for our stakeholders as well. We also need to think about the components like chain. This would impact the cost as well. Of course, the top wheel would be limited for motor power at the wheel. Nowadays, the top wheel has sold on 3,000 watts. And if it's special, we need to redesign the wheel and the top wheel. If it's bigger, we need to redesign the wheel as well. So that's the mainstream in our market. What about the two-wheel drive motor? Do we have it for electric motorcycles? If we want to do it, we can. But nowadays, the cost is very high, and probably how it propel might not be two wheels at the same time. But to design the drive, the motor control unit would be double. So we need to protect the conflict, the middle motor and the front motor. So we can do that. Can I ask? Talking about the battery, when we discharge, the battery would be hot. So what's the best battery? What if I have the high performance of heat system? Nowadays, we talk about LSFP. We can do it at the 3C level. Let's say 50 mAh. 3C means multiply by 3. So we will have 150 mAh. For MMC, we have 2C as the highest. There's the downside and upside as well. Using LFP on the 4th spec, it caused the battery weight with the same charge, weight heavier and bigger. So you need to debate the upside and downside. If it's lighter, if it's the same power, you have to debate about the weight. If I have so you just multiply by 2. I see. So from kilowatt per hour, so I'm interested in swap battery. Thank you. So you have to think about the timing, the battery cell, to see can perform the 3 cell. There are normal power and continuous power and maximum power. Max power. The max power can generate in a short period if it's continuous zone. Maximum use it when you take the accelerator to climb up the mountain. So what you have to concern about battery, you need to talk about the motor spec or the type of the battery. You still have time for the last question. Actually, I want to ask you, but I don't want to take your time. I would like to ask, about electric motorcycle. Basically, it's quiet comparing with the regular motorcycles. But we need to add more sound so that the people walking on the street would feel safe because they can hear the noise. Yes, we need to. For example, Gogoro model from Taiwan. They make fake sound as well. When they slow down that speed, for example, 30, there would be that sound. So that the street walker would hear there are the vehicle running behind, so they would be safe. For the electric motorcycle, need to have fake sound as well for the safety, for the pedestrian safety. I want to ask one more question. For ECU motor autos, beside the battery that they need to pay attention, what else do we need to consider? In auto system, we use canned blood. We talk about VCU and motor controller and DMS. DMS is battery. They will send information to one another. The system will send to a dashboard so that to notify the users. It's standardized of the system notifications, like motors and faults, notification. For example, if it's too hot, if the motor is too hot, and if it's not smooth, or even the battery is too hot or overcharged, it will notify through the screen indicator, through the dashboard team. Last question. Electric motorcycle has regenerative or not? Battery has regenerative battery. Depends on the motorcycle maker. Can we make that? Yes, we can. But we need to find ways to control electricity to run to the battery, not too high. Otherwise, it's gonna be too hot, which impacts the battery. We need to concern about the rotation speed. In case if it's too high energy or electricity, we need to find ways the high energy would be content somewhere else. When we release the accelerator, we need to regenerate. To take a break, short break or long break, it depends on how much we have to take the accelerator so that they will not stumble on the ground, so that they would be more confident to ride the vehicles. Thank you to the speakers, because right now we need to control our time. But if you have more questions, you can write down your question and we can send it to our speakers. Well, thank you both speakers, Kun Supavit. We have one more question. Somebody. So thank you Kun Wasanpus and Kun Satianpong for sharing your information with us. If you have more questions, we will reply. Just write it down. Thank you, both of us speakers. Thank you for the interpreters simultaneously interpreting. Thank you to all our team who's working behind the scene and make all the success come true. Thank you.